Okay, hey guys, Matt Sutton from mattsuttonfitness.com. How you doing? Thank you for clicking on this link and watching this quick video. I'm going to try and keep it pretty short. I basically shot this video as a kind of added value video on top of the Christmas survival guide that most of you, my subscribers, have got. If you haven't downloaded that already, I'll stick a link on the bottom of this video for you. Basically, in that survival guide is a ton of strategies to help you basically avoid making a mistake that 95% of the population make, which is gaining all the weight at Christmas. Okay, it makes those New Year's resolutions so much damn harder. So yeah, so basically I spent some time putting a little ebook together of loads and loads of strategies in there, literally pages of strategies. And basically the strategies are the damage limitation strategies. So the idea isn't for you, well, the idea isn't to try and help you lose weight, it's to maintain the weight that you're at. Okay, if you actually followed all the strategies, you probably would lose weight, to be fair. But the strategies are really based around you not having to give alcohol, chocolate, and all your sweets and treats. It's not a massively restrictive plan. So basically, but there are basically some cheats and some ninja things that you can do just to avoid the impact that the high carbohydrates and the high sugars and high processed foods that we tend to consume can have on the body. Now, like I said, I'm shooting a few added value videos, and if you're on my email list, you're going to get some added value content from there as well. Because basically, I know from myself and from my clients that just reading stuff like an ebook, it's not always enough. We need some simple guidelines that we can follow. So I figured if I just basically shoot you a few videos, some really small things that you can plug in just to kind of get results. Okay, and this one today is like super simple, but actually doing it, if you actually do this, guarantee you it will help you massively. You will definitely not gain the usual weight that you gain over Christmas. So highly recommend you just follow this simple strategy. So these are just kind of some challenges. Okay, so this is challenge number one. Plan first. So I mean, without doubt, it doesn't matter what time of year you're trying to get fitter or lose weight. The biggest, sorry, my phone going off there. The biggest mistake people make is never actually planning. They decide suddenly they need to lose weight or they're getting fatter, and they'll just jump on the first fitness fad or health or diet fad that comes along. So this year, I think this year is probably the 5-2 diet. Next year it will probably be the 7-2 diet. I don't know. Let me tell you something. Fitness fads don't work. We all know that. That's why the fitness industry makes so much money out of us. It's also why we have an obesity epidemic. Okay, quick fixes unfortunately don't work. What works is there's no real kind of set thing that does work. And if you have ever attended my programs or any of my packages, you'll know that really we give you guidelines, we give you tools for sure, but it really comes down to you and how you can sort of cope with changes in your lifestyle. Okay, because it doesn't matter what tools someone gives you if your lifestyle will not sort of cope with that, or if you have too many stresses in your life, you're just not going to be able to deal with it long term. So the best strategy for me is planning first. Now you can do this, obviously we're talking about a Christmas survival here. So this is how I would recommend for you as your coach to do this. Step one, what you should do is you should just sit down. You can pause this video right now if you want and just look at your calendar and just list the social events. Okay, so just list all the social events that are coming up over the next few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, so that might be things like your Christmas work do, your Christmas ball, Christmas Day, Boxing Day if you have a party on Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, and all of those. Just list them all down, and then we'll move on to step two. So step two is I want to grade each event. Okay, I'm grading each event in terms of the importance that you associate with that event. Okay, the importance and the priority that event has on you. So it's kind of like if you had to grade events in terms of how much you want to let your hair down and have a good time, number one would be like the top, yeah? I would go for no more than sort of 3 or 4 grades. Depends how sort of far you want to take this. 3 grades is great, you know, just keeps it really simple. So grade 1 might be something, if you're a real sort of party animal and you just love New Year's Eve, then that might be the night that you choose when you just have no restrictions on what you eat and so on. This kind of takes us into step 3, by the way. So what I want you to do is once you've graded each event, I want you to set some rules and guidelines for each of those social events. Okay, I'll give you some examples in a second, but basically when you're setting rules and guidelines, you need to be honest and clear with yourself at what you think can be achievable. So I can give you some examples, but if you don't feel that's achievable or realistic, it's kind of no point, okay? But I mean, as your coach, I'll give you a few examples in a second. But what you need to do is sit down, look at those events. Maybe one of the social events is just, I don't know, catching up with a friend that you haven't seen all year, yeah? Now, if you're catching up with a friend that you haven't seen all year, chances are you really just want to talk. You want to get to know. You don't want to get pissed. Yeah, so you don't need to be drinking lots of alcohol and consuming, what we call empty calories. Yeah, the calories that are only going to kind of make you kind of relaxed a little bit, but they're going to make you feel pretty crappy the next day or the day after even. So have a look at those social events and decide which ones are priority. And here are a few examples. So for that New Year's Eve party or your work do party, number 1, if you grade number 1 as your eat and drink whatever you want night. Okay, now I'm hoping you're not going to choose number 1 for every social event. Okay, we've got to have some common sense with this if you actually want to benefit. So number 1, you know, maybe 1 or 2 number 1s, I would try and limit it to that. Okay, number 2 might be something along the lines of eating 80% clean. Now, what I consider 80% clean might be different to you. So again, you need to be realistic with yourself. 80% clean could mean something like you're going to eat a clean starter, you're going to eat a clean main course, but you're going to have a treat, you're going to have a dessert. Okay? And maybe you're going to limit your alcohol drinks if you're going for grade 2 as well. So maybe you give you a limit of something like 3 alcohol drinks, but you are going to allow yourself either nibbles or desserts. Okay, otherwise you'd be 100% clean. If you're going to go for grade 3, then basically that's your super good night. This is the night when you're probably meeting up with friends and maybe you're driving and you're not bothered about having a drink at all. So that might be, I've actually allowed 2 glasses of wine in this 3, but maybe you take alcohol out completely. You have 100% clean food, 100% clean eating, drinking, and maybe just allow yourself some nibbles with your glass of appetizer or water or whatever it is. So hopefully you can see that's a very, very simple strategy. But what that is doing is it's actually programming your mind in advance rather than going into a social situation and having no rules or kind of planning done previously. What tends to happen is people tend to just go crazy and just eat and drink anything and use Christmas as an excuse to have a blowout. And then they regret it on January the 1st when they're setting their New Year's resolutions. So I hope that helped you guys. It's just a really simple challenge, strategy, whatever you want to call it, that you can sort of plug and play straight away. I get on this straight away though, and do this before you watch my next coaching video. That's Matt Sutton from mattsuttonfitness.com, and I'll catch you soon. If you haven't downloaded my damage limitation guide, make sure you do that. Okay, take care.